Hey guys, this is Juliet, your host. Just popping in to say if you like this podcast, subscribe for more content. I've been creating some great bonus material for you. Please subscribe and download so I can keep bringing you more permission granted. Thanks for your support. Thank you for listening to Permission Granted. I'm your host, Juliette Ricci Lagman. Uh, Today we have with us Debbie Robinson, the manager of Snohomish Storage. Debbie, welcome.
Thank you so much. This is awesome. Super excited.
I knew we had to postpone because I had a little cat emergency, so thank you for being flexible.
Oh, I get it. That having critters is yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, and I'm glad we're here now, and this is perfect. Um, I just want to kind of jump in. I will just say, storage to most folks might not seem like an exciting subject, but it's actually fascinating to me because I kind of am really into decluttering and all of
Mhm.
that. And okay, how does it work? How does it serve us? So I'm just going to jump in.
Yeah.
How did you start working at Snohomish Storage?
Oh man. So kind of interesting well to me, but so my background is in lumber and
Oh,
I after I left high school, I went to the Art Institute of Seattle. I'm taking the long road. Did you want the short road or the long road?
oh, I want the long road. I
Okay.
didn't know about Art Institute.
So I went to the Art Institute of Seattle and I was my dream, I had multiple dreams as I was like trying to develop who am I? What do I want to be?
Mhm.
So I went to the Art Institute to through their graphic design program, visual communications. So then you know I needed money. And that path wasn't like completely like falling. I got a job at Dunn Lumber and I worked there for about 15 years. And when I started at Dunn, I was like, man, this is what I've needed in my life is all this lumber. Like,
Mm.
holy cow, passion was creating things with wood.
Yeah.
So um I I stayed with Dunn Lumber. I absolutely love that job. And the reason that I left Dunn is because I had my son Ben, and who's my legacy. He's the light of my life. He's just
Mm.
my most amazing, my little human. He'll be 22, which is
Wow.
hard to believe in just a couple of weeks. But when I had Ben, I became a stay-at-home mom, and then through the progression of life and divorce and such, amicably so, we're like best of friends. Um,
Hmm.
we, uh, I needed to create I needed to figure it out. So
Yeah.
I had to look for another job and Dunn Lumber, I went to them and I was the manager of the hardware department, which was shipping and receiving for all of the stores. I know this is supposed to be about storage, but
Oh
well,
yeah.
so it was the shipping and receipt, and it actually was, I was like the hub of all the storage for all the parts that got shipped out to the yards. So
Hmm.
um uh they had they had kind of disbanded that specific job and farmed it out to multiple different um, of the properties of the stores.
Hmm.
And the position that they could hire me into was more of like a sales related thing. So back on the sales counter, which was fine. I totally love that, but I couldn't come to working like a schedule that they had available because Ben, he was in the second grade and I gotta, whatever. So I
Yeah.
through through uh a friend of a friend, I wound up with the opportunity of becoming the manager of Ballard Mini Storage. And
Oh.
under the same umbrella of the property management company that I work for now, Coast Property Management. And so I was commuting from Monroe to stinking Ballard, like
Mm.
then in the second grade. And I did it for a little over a year and I was just toast.
It's so
toast
far.
doing that. So I presented to Coast. I'm like, okay, well, I need to figure something out. If you have anything that comes available for me closer to home, please consider me. And so then
Yeah.
this opportunity here at Snohomish Storage came available. And so I had to interview with the owners and I mean, I just absolutely adore the owners of Snohomish Storage, and we can get into that too. But
Yeah.
um, they were willing to take me on up here at
Mm.
Snohomish Storage. I think it was because I told a story to them about rolling the pallet jack over this long carpet of bubble wrap above the
Uh-huh.
sales floor, just to be cantankerous like that. So I think that I like to say that sealed the deal of why they wanted to have me here because I'm, that could be
You
that
make
one.
it
Yeah,
fun.
it's fun. So thank you. So yeah, that's how I got started. Was just,
So good.
divorce, Ballard Mini Storage, then this came open and I mean, stinking really, who knew storage? Like,
I
I'm like,
know.
oh yeah, storage. Okay, so I got this job. I'm going to use it as a stepping stone. When I was at Ballard Mini Storage, I'm going to use it
Yeah.
as a stepping stone until I can really get on my feet and figure it out. And then I got Snohomish Storage, and I was like, okay, maybe not quite the stepping stone, but we'll figure it out, and the
Yeah.
more I got entrenched in the value of storage and how I could positively affect people's lives,
Hmm.
that was a that just really, like, I totally love my job,
Yeah.
and like storage, having the knowledge and understanding of what's behind all of that, and
Hmm.
trying to make storage not feel so daunting or ugly, or just being able to be here with all of our friendly faces that are here at Snohomish Storage.
It's
So
kind of
that's how.
like how I had told you that story about that I rented a storage, oh, what would that be, like a year ago,
Yeah.
online,
Yeah.
and it was a big conglomerate, and I rented it sight unseen without talking to a human, and I thought this will be fine. And I went, and it was like the scariest situation, and
Ah,
it was like on the street, kind of, where the unit was exposed. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, this is not going to work. I immediately, like the
yeah.
next day, backed out.
Yeah. I would too. And that's, I mean, that's exactly like the connotation that I am trying to reroute that thinking
Yeah.
about storage, because I hear a lot about those types of experiences after, when people come here and they see our experience, they get to generate a different kind um feeling about, putting their personal belongings into storage, because
Yeah.
they feel the connection with us, and we're not. I mean, sometimes we can be scary, but we try not. We try to not be scary.
I
We
doubt it.
we can people can rent online with us, but we serve as a bridge of connectivity through that online rental. We're like, we're going to call you and connect with you right away, and we're not going to leave
Yes.
you to the wolves to figure it out yourself if you rent online. So we have
Well,
that full connected piece.
this is really what I want to talk about. I had other questions too, but they all lead into the same thing.
Ah,
So since you kind of touched on the value and the impact, this is what I am so interested in. Was interested in interviewing you in particular because, through knowing you the past, couple of months, or a little longer, I understand. I see you out in the community. I see how you connect with people and build relationships. And this is really what I want to talk about. Like, and the fact that you love your job, like that's what I
I
think
love
is
my
so,
job.
I mean, how many people can say that?
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
it's not only like the inner workings of the job specifically, but it's also the community that I serve, and it's
Yeah.
also large part of the owners and
Yeah.
how, my loyalty to them, and how they've taken care of me pretty fiercely over the years. And
Mm.
my bottom line really is that I really want to do anything to make this place successful
Mhm.
for not only me because I'm an overachiever, but just, for that, for them to be like, seen. I just want Snohomish Storage to be seen. And so
Yeah.
I know I'm having a lot of fun out there making
Mhm.
networking and making these connections and
Yeah.
um, talking about storage.
Yes. So, and let's talk about actually, so I can identify. I truly did have a previous boss who he was the owner of the business, and he inspired everyone in that, the way he connected with his employees and his clients, and just like the big heartedness. So it sounds like that's what the
Mhm.
experience that you are having over the
Yeah,
past 13 years, really.
13 years.
Yeah, and
It's
that just extends to your clients and your coworkers, you know?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it really does. I just have that happy, love my job vibe. Even when I'm crabby, I try to, just to have it, and especially when I'm out networking and I want to talk about
Hmm.
storage. Like I feel like it's just like pouring out of me,
Yes, yeah.
how let's talk about storage. I just
Well,
stay emphatic.
let's talk about storage. So, how does it add value and, impact folks' lives?
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's just so many different ways, and I've learned by experience just by serving our customers over this many years. There's just storage isn't always going to have like a happy reason.
Connotation.
Right.
Yep.
It's not always going to be a happy thing of why you need to get storage.
Hmm.
So there's those clients, and it could be because there was a death in the family, or there was a
Hmm.
divorce, or something along those lines. It could be also, you're about ready to sell your house, or you're moving, or you're in transition somehow that way. Maybe it's a real happy thing, maybe not. So
Yeah.
it could be that. Maybe it's because you just potentially bought like the trailer of your dreams and you need a place to
Ooh.
put it because you can't, your HOA is going to like frown upon you if you have it in your driveway for more than 45 minutes. So you need
Yeah.
to like, have a friendly place where you feel like you're the business that you're choosing to store your stuff, whether it's household goods in whatever situation you're in, or it's your trailer, motorhome, your boat, whatever. Um,
Hmm.
my goal here is to just make any of those transitions in anybody's life, make it easy, especially on, when you're facing a hardship, and
Yeah.
and when folks are in that position, like they come into Snohomish Storage just with like the whole like I need storage thing. But then
Yeah.
when they leave, I I really am I just love it when they walk away from having rented the unit and experiencing what they experience here, that gee,
Yeah.
it wasn't all that bad. And
Mhm.
and now I got this, checked off my list, and it was easy and friendly, and
And
I've
welcoming.
welcoming. I've seen a lot. I mean, I'm not kidding. There's been times where the box of tissues goes up on the counter because the customer cries the entire time. And
Yeah.
and then from that, though, we take in those stories. We personalize every customer. So
Yeah.
I know it's funny because we're like, when somebody's pulling up to the door, I'm pointing this way because it's right over there. But when
Mhm.
somebody's pulling up to the door, we're like incoming. So we're all
Yeah.
ready, we're ready to greet whoever it is coming in. So we're like either we'll recognize them and we can pull up their account and just be ready to greet them by name. Um,
Mm,
because we converse, we take their stories in and try and
mhm.
like figure out ways to make their situation while they have to have storage, not
It would be interesting
disgusting.
to see, I'm just because you know me, it'd be interesting to see if you and your team or just you would document these stories, either I guess through storytelling podcasts,
Mm,
like a series, or like quick anecdotes and make a
mhm.
small little book or a big
Yeah,
book.
yeah. There's
Um,
a lot. There's a lot
mhm,
of them. Yeah, some some heart-wrenching things.
yeah.
People that are in the dark of night trying to
Mhm,
remove themselves from a situation and
yeah.
not discovered that they're leaving. I have
Yeah.
goosebumps right now thinking about all those times, and there are that we have been able to help somebody through that situation. Uh,
That is heavy. I didn't even
yeah,
think about that, to be
yeah,
honest,
yeah,
because you see like storage wars and, whatnot. And I know my experience with storage in
yeah,
general. And,
yeah.
but I didn't think about, the escape,
Hmm.
scenario or anything like that or
Hmm.
danger,
Hmm. Hmm.
it sounds like it's so great because it sounds like really what people, well, I'll just tell you a quick little anecdote. So I recently started doing personal training with a personal trainer,
Yeah.
and it's one of the gals that is part of Snohomish Networking Women, actually Lacey, Early Bird Coaching.
Hmm.
So I go there for coaching, and I will just say I've worked with other trainers in the past, like at other large gyms, and I was like uncomfortable, and it was really crowded, and I didn't feel maybe quite as welcome as I would like, because it's a very vulnerable situation, and it's really,
Yeah.
really intimidating to say the least.
I'm with you.
And um, I will say, like with Lacey, I emailed her and I got an email right away back, and she was so warm and welcoming,
Hmm.
and the gym is so open, and the trainers are so good. And I was
Hmm.
like, okay, this is what, and that's why I am completely committed. And I've been going back every week because I absolutely love it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It makes a difference when
Yeah.
you're seen.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really like you're not so much in the storage business, you're really in the relationship business.
It turns out.
It's so cool.
I
Um,
agree. I love it.
do you have any like fun stories, or I should say, on the positive tip of
Mhm.
relationships that have evolved over your tenure?
Oh, many. I mean, um, yeah, I'm so a member of the Snohomish Chamber, and that
Uh-huh.
really helped me grow
Mm,
in a networking aspect where and that's I've kind of hit the chamber pretty hard over the last couple of years, and it really has made a difference in the impact, in not only the impact that we as Snohomish Storage can have, out there in the world, but it's impacted me as a person, just growing, just being able to
mhm.
like expand my own horizons with gaining relationships and understanding like how can I help you? you know,
Yeah.
and even like going out and having a beer after work with some of
Hmm.
these people. It's so welcoming and just such a um, friendly environment of, the chamber and getting to gain all these relationships that way. And some of the customers, I've had for years and years and years. And
Yeah.
um, I will say that with I have one customer. She's been here for years. Um, well, more than three. So yeah, I'll call that years. She and I went out. uh, I think it was last month, we went out to dinner, and
Hmm.
um, she's so lovely. She's just turned 80, and we went out and had a drink and had dinner together. We shared a meal, and I just got to learn about her life story and what she's doing. So things like that, also like
Yeah.
unexpected gems of the storage, community behind these gates here, these people that I get to meet and know for years. And she's the first one that, and I'm saying first one because maybe there will be others that
Mm.
we get to just kind of hang out, on a more personal level, where we met through storage. But I would consider many of my customers friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just also like who you are, and it's the tone you're setting. And the fact that you guys take such good care of the grounds and
Mm,
you have really great staff,
mhm.
you're not I'm maybe overstepping, but it doesn't seem like you're understaffed in any way,
Right. Hmm.
you have people there to help that
Yeah.
are dedicated.
Yeah.
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 Hmm.
I think we all have the same goal in mind, is
Yeah.
to level up.
Oh, I love it. And it's not just like you guys make an investment, you continue to level up.
Mhm.
Every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Yeah. This
Yeah.
year we did it by getting mulch in our flower beds.
I love it. Well, also tell me about the annex because that was a huge
Yeah.
deal.
So that was, yeah, that I never expected that. All along since I've been here, we have expanded, and primarily parking. So we're on 17 acres. Okay, so and there's like 1,500 spaces, and the bulk of that is parking. So we, every couple of years, starting in 2015, we would expand another parking area
Mm,
until there wasn't any more. But there was this grassy knoll as you're coming out of the business park that is part of the owner's property. And so then the decision was made a few years back to build the apartment building and put storage below, um,
yeah.
to tackle housing and well, more storage. So
Yep.
um, we we lovingly call it the annex.
Mm.
And a little plug, we're offering 50% off 2 months for the
Yay.
annex. And it's kind of this really great ideal situation for the apartment complex because they can take the elevator right down to their storage unit, and it's micro housing. So if they've got extra stuff, they've got their like extra room down in
Yeah.
kind of not really the basement, but street level basement.
And it's
And
beautiful.
I mean, I know if you love storage, that's the
Mhm.
word I would use. It's that new storage smell too, still. Um, it really it's been a real great highlight to see that manifest into like this tangible piece that we get to manage through
Yeah.
here, and seeing the growth of it, like literally from the ground up, and seeing how it was built and participating in that, and then adding the cameras and adding the keypads and the security and everything that we need to do in that, and just being able to like serve the apartment people. It's not
Hmm.
solely for apartment people, it's open to everybody, but just being able to serve them, having to have that availability of a little 5x5 could make a big difference when you don't
Yeah.
like
And it's
stuff.
so cool. It's so cool because you have the ground level where the storage is, and then the hill goes up a little bit, and then you have the entry to the
Yeah.
apartments, respectively. I mean, it's awesome.
So from the front on Bickford Avenue, you can't even see the storage. You just see the
Yep.
entry level of the apartments. So yeah, we're always going to be your little hidden gem.
I love it. And there's technically a housing shortage, is my understanding right now. So that's a great way to essentially provide a service and
Yeah.
literally provide
Yeah.
housing
Well,
and to the
they
community.
so that 89 units was full in like a month and a half.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Hmm.
That is just wild. Well, one thing also I want to talk about is that you guys keep the grounds really clean. You
Yeah.
really are good about maintenance and just making
Yeah.
sure, lighting and one thing about the cleanliness and the maintenance, but also building those relationships is you keep the grounds really safe. I mean, there's if you know the name of all the people that are coming in and know, oh, that's so and so's car, you
Hmm.
you kind of always have a pulse on what's going on.
We do, yeah, and we're a gated community here, so everybody has their own personal gate code. So we in our software we can see who's coming and going because they're coding
Yeah.
in. But then all of our cameras that we can see here in the office, so we can follow them in and see where they're going. Um and uh as far as the keeping the grounds really clean. So again, we're on 17 acres, and it's something to
Mhm.
to do all of that. I've got two full-time maintenance, one of which is
Wow.
cross-trained here to help in the office, and he's doing a great job. Both maintenance and the full-time maintenance tech, he's amazing as well. But yeah, I mean, it's every day we have a protocol. There's a maintenance log that we adhere to every day, and part of that protocol is to do the drive around and see um, what needs to be swept, cleaned, brushed, picked up, anything of that nature. So we do our level best. Some things like get past us or whatever, but yeah,
Yeah.
we do our level best. And my assistant manager lives here, so that
Oh,
also
wow.
adds a different level of like, I'm he's amazing. And so people come in and meet him, and he's my RV guru. So
Mm,
he himself has got a great relationship with a lot of the RV people.
yeah.
That is just them. I mean, they'll call, is Darren there? No, is there anything I can do to help you? No, I need to talk to Darren. Like, I'll have him
Darren's
give
my
you a call.
guy.
Yeah, because he gives tips and tricks on like how to back into the parking space or talk to them about winterizing their rig, or he'll give different
Mhm.
information on how to the care for, or try and help out as best as possible, even though that's like you know not specifically what we're here for, but we lend that
But
additional
it kind of
piece.
is.
Yeah, it's the personal touch that we can give to these customers.
Mhm.
um
Yeah.
yeah, we it's important. That's one of the main important pieces to me here managing
Mhm.
this facility, is making sure that we look good, not only on
Yeah.
the outside, but the way that we treat you. So,
And I will just say that's the thing about what you're doing. I remember years ago, I worked at Expedia and my boss gave a group of us this because I was trained the Nordstrom way in customer service, a really good customer service. And so the my boss at the time gave a book called something Fred. Now I forget. It was about Fred the postman, and the whole premise of this short business book was, whatever you do, do it well. And that's what I think is so great about what you and your team are doing because you literally are building community, and Snohomish is such a great community and
yeah,
beyond,
yeah,
and you're setting an example for all these other people because everything you do, the way you greet someone when they approach, and all those little extra things, it'll ripple out as people
totally.
go out into the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Where should I store my stuff? I know the place.
Let's talk about RV and boat because you guys have, I would say, to my knowledge, pretty unique, fantastic RV covered storage.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we offer uncovered and covered with power and fully enclosed. You can rent a 15 by 50 unit and put your 45-foot
Mm.
motorhome in it and shut and lock the door. Um,
Wow.
so we have a lot of different opportunities, about 750 parking spaces we offer here with a black and gray water dump station. And,
Oh,
one of
wow.
so we are unique in that, but up on Highway 9, there is another facility up there that is beautiful. And they're an opportunity as well,
Hmm.
up there. And so we're not solely like, the only place kind of in town with
Game
the
in town.
in town extension of different, you know, outlying areas. But I think it's just the customer service piece that
Yeah.
is lending to our success. Um, but parking is, we run a tight ship with parking. You've got to be insured and registered. We need those documents.
Woo.
We don't allow you to rent online for a parking spot because we want to be able to understand that what you're bringing in to park with us is not the jalopy you're going to drop off with your, tilt bed tow truck and just dump
That's
it.
like smoking.
Yeah, no, thank you. So, yeah, we that's an important piece. But
Mhm.
yeah, we have quite a variety of different type spaces, and we have all kinds of people that move around within the property. Some people will move they want to cover with power for the winter, but then when
Oh,
there's
yeah.
summer, they just move to a uncovered spot, and then yeah, Darren, my assistant manager, I awarded him the certificate of achievement for Tetris excellence because he can maneuver these, like, if we've got some person over here that doesn't quite fit because they've got this rig and this rig next to them, so it's really difficult for them to like get in, but that was the only space we had available to rent to them. Darren will scour the property and he'll be all right, this actually is going to be a better fit for this person, but I need to have this person move and then this person move.
Mhm.
And he orchestrates that whole thing. And
I
everybody's
love
happy. Yeah,
it.
everybody's
And
like,
it,
yeah,
oh my God, that's amazing. Did you say you have 750 parking spaces?
yeah, ish.
Oh my gosh, how is that possible? Well, 17 acres, but still, that is
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, there's 1,500 rentable spaces here.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
And how's your capacity? Like what are the hot sellers is kind of what I want to ask.
Yeah, so most of our large units are hard to come by. So anything
Mhm.
10 by 20 and bigger is hard to come by. When they open up, they rent pretty readily. What I'm finding is there's a handful, always now, a handful of the smaller sizes that we have
Mm,
available, which, um, yeah, and so for our occupancy, we're kind of trending at about, I don't know, anywhere from 94, 95%
that's
on
pretty
brand
good.
units. It used to be 100% all the time, no question. 150 people on the waiting list, 100% occupied.
Oh
So
my gosh.
that was the impetus for all of the expansions over the years for parking. Um,
Yeah.
so so over the last couple of years, I've kind of seen a little bit of a downturn in our occupancy, which even though that may seem like, oh, but it actually
But it
creates.
provides room for new people.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Mhm.
because before it was like, yeah, that's great. You need a storage unit. I'm so sorry. The only thing I can offer you right now is the waiting list. So
Mm,
now we at least have something for, even if it isn't the ideal, we at least can provide something and then work with you ongoing with your account.
mhm.
If what you're really needing comes up, then we'll orchestrate the transfer and
Yeah.
figure it out. But yeah, so trending around that 94, 95%, with space available. Typically, it's going to be the smaller sizes. But I mean, even those 15 by 50s, I feel like I've got around 53 of them. Are they ever
Wow.
available? Not really. I do have
Oh
one.
my
Oh,
gosh.
if you know of anybody that needs one, I have one available right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
15, did you say 15 by 50?
correct.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. And I'm sure it's like the smaller spaces, this is just an assumption. Smaller spaces have higher turnover because they're just temporary, people are moving or something like that versus the larger one. I will say from my experience, I had 2 units at one point at a storage facility, and I was like, oh, this is nice because I can move around and I can
Yeah,
like organize my stuff.
right.
So the larger is nice because then I'm like, oh, now I can bring this to the storage. And I kept, and all of a sudden it was full.
Yeah, right. I know. And then I'm only going to have storage for 2 months turns into, it.
15 years.
Yes, completely. So, yeah, the smaller units do tend to have a little bit more turnover than the larger ones for sure. And the larger ones we can't really keep in stock because they are a hot item. When we
Yeah,
have one, it's gone pretty quickly over, hours to maybe a couple of days. It's typically
that's
ready.
amazing.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, in the annex, we've pretty much rented everything except surprisingly, like the 5x5s. We have a few of those and those are I think that the folks that moved into the apartments are still unpacking and they're still getting used to their
Yeah,
space. And then so at the beginning of July, I'm going to start a campaign with the apartment folks. It's like, okay, you know, I'm here for you.
need a little wiggle room.
You've got this stuff that's crowding your this or that. Let's like give you some more freedom of your space. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think you're right with your assumption that the smaller units tend to have more turnover. For business records, though, we have businesses that rent units from us and then keep
Oh,
their business records or their stock or whatever with us in typically smaller units. So that's kind of a cool feature. So yeah,
and
I
that
mean,
makes
only
sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
not only like a typical consumer, but we also cater to businesses as well.
Wow.
Yeah,
Amazing. Um, I have two more questions. We'll
yeah.
kind of wind down a little bit. My first is, are there any other anecdotes or anything else you would like the listeners to know?
Well, so part of our lease agreement is that, you just don't get to stay in the unit like overnight. It's not even a thing.
Oh,
It's,
actually, can we talk about that? Yes, that and the electricity thing. Yes.
yeah, yeah. So we don't have electricity in our smaller units available. So we keep that locked up, else that would pose issue. But yeah, I mean, sleeping in your unit and using your unit as an apartment, that's like great idea. That's a great idea. It's smart. It's going to save you a ton of money. You got to sneak around about it and you got to
Yes.
try and be under the radar about it. But is that going to work here at Snohomish Storage? Probably not.
No.
Probably not. So we did have one instance where a lovely person did decide to set up camp and
Mm,
and it was very meticulously appointed. It was
mm.
with a desk and some books and like, you know, it was neat and clean and organized and tidy. And
Yep.
we have overnight monitoring, which is a good piece of our, what we can present to people as to why store with Snohomish Storage. Above
Hmm.
everything else, we have overnight monitoring. So
Yeah.
that helped detect kind of what was going on. And so we figured it out. It didn't last very long. And yeah, he was happily escorted off the property with our local police department
Oh
at
my.
night. And then we gave him his friendly, like mutual termination notice,
Yep.
um, which he was very kind about. It's we all have to have that greater understanding of rules. So we're trying to enforce rules, show empathy where it applies, but still,
Yep. You got to have policies, and
yeah,
I think that's what
broke
helps.
here's your here's where you sign. Remember, you signed that right here. So, I mean, I wish you the best.
I had I know I told you this story, but just the storage I have it's on the other side, it's in Mukilteo. And the gentleman is great who runs it, and he said the only rules are, I think what he said, no food and no explosives. That was
Oh,
it.
yeah. Well, yay to both of those. Those are good rules. But yeah, typically we things are not going to get past us because we all have a little piece of skeptical brain,
Yeah.
as we move through life, and so our we got that skeptical sense that comes in handy here in storage, and so we often will sniff out something that's going on. And
Nefarious.
yeah, yeah, and Darren is up on his since he lives here, he's got a great view of Mount Rainier, and he's got this
Oh.
awesome balcony. And I always tease people, if they go awry, you're gonna have to deal with Darren on his deck yelling, "Get off my lawn!"
That's too good. I love it.
Yeah,
Oh my God. Well, and it goes back to the relationship thing. So if you know your clients, you know
hmm
who they are,
hmm
you recognize them, and the monitoring, the
yeah,
physically driving, because you guys have, what do we call them, golf carts,
yeah, yeah,
and monitor the property.
yeah,
Like all of that makes your clients feel safe.
yeah,
It keeps the property clean,
yeah,
everybody's in alignment with the policies, which is what is needed to
yeah.
operate 17 acres.
Yeah, for the most part, there's alignment. Sometimes it feels like herding cats, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, everybody's pretty good.
you you told me a story just regarding relationships with your clients that like you kind of touched on. You'll have clients approaching, and it sounds like you guys have mail service there, is that
We
right?
do. Yeah, we
Yeah.
rent mailboxes.
Yeah. And
It's
you'll
smart.
see them coming,
Oh
and
yeah,
you'll get their packages ready for them as they're parking their car. Like,
sure.
how amazing.
We're a full service mail concierge. We will, we recognize you coming up, so we'll just gather your goods and take them out to your car or help you load.
Oh,
Because we receive deliveries here too, for
yeah,
the mailboxes. You can't have deliveries if you don't
amazing.
have a mailbox. Meh. But yeah, yeah, it's just a fun part of our job because we like connecting, and so it just gives us an
Yeah.
opportunity to connect with people. And it's just a really smart business model,
Yeah.
to have mailboxes associated with, if people are moving, we we've got
Yeah.
a mailbox situation where they could, like, and it's a street address, it's not a PO box,
Yep.
and receive packages so they're not on your porch. So
Yeah, that's brilliant. Oh my
yeah,
God.
it's a really smart model. So yeah,
I
and
love it.
it's a fun part of what we do.
And that is really building those connections. That's what life is all about, truly.
Yeah,
So it's like, essentially you get to have fun when you come to work, really.
it all circles back. I love my
Yep.
job. I mean,
Yeah.
and I get to play with Excel spreadsheets too, so that keeps my
Which is
nerd
awesome.
brain going, and I even get to have moments of, like, being creative.
Yep.
Figuring out the artist piece in me where I just want to try and be creative in my work, and so then I can
Mhm.
bust out the Canva, or I can, whatever. Yeah, this job has allowed me a lot of opportunities to flourish as a
Yeah.
human, as an artist, as a manager, as a person. It's really great. It's fun.
I love that. It just shows creativity is everywhere. It
Yeah,
truly is.
yeah.
Yeah. I just want to wrap up with what are your dreams for the future for you and for Snohomish Storage?
So for Snohomish storage, I'll start there. I just really want to keep promoting this place as being your friendly keeper of stuff,
Hmm.
while you need to have a keeper of stuff. Like I I want Snohomish Storage to be the chosen one. And I want to continue to prove why over and over again to all the customers that try us out. And that's
Hmm.
why I'm always inviting people to come for a tour.
Yeah.
So we can just kind of like, and it's kind of mind blowing when you go behind the gate. You're like, wow, it's still going.
Yeah.
Um, so
It's
yeah,
true.
that we have a there is a facility in the works that is actually going to be going in directly across the street from us. So
Okay.
I am taking that challenge head on with looking forward to actually when they're all said and done, I can partner with them. You know,
Yeah.
they're not going to have parking. We can partner with one another about, I don't have this size. Go see our friends right across the street. So
Yeah.
we can bridge that gap between us. So we're not so much competitors, we're companions, um,
Yeah.
and figure that out. While still like leveling up the vibe of Snohomish
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's I feel like is the best piece. For me personally, I really am um I I'm looking for that almost like beginning stages of the wind down to
Yep.
to
Yeah.
retirement. So I have a goal in mind of like X number of years. Um, and everybody knows it. Like I put in my whatever 7 year notice.
I
And
love it.
so I'm trying to like, put things in place here. Um, and put things in place for my finances and try
Mhm.
maybe not. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, I'm just like putting it out there, right? So
Yeah.
if I don't speak it and
It doesn't come.
bring it, the ask,
Yeah.
I'm a full on ask, believe, receive. Full on. That's my
Mm,
that's my gig.
I love it.
So I'm just putting it out there. And I mean, maybe if I'm still a good employee here, maybe if I need to work 2 days a week, they'll hire me.
Oh, I love that idea. I could go on and on about sabbaticals, reducing your work week,
Hmm. Hmm.
to 4 days or less, or I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, I think it's all valuable because life is in session now, and there's no reason to putting off the joy. You can obviously you have joy at work, but also, having relaxation and joy outside of work is really
Yeah.
important too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's really important. I do find myself that occasionally I'll discover like a little tinge of burnout mode, and
Mm.
I'm like, what? Why are you so crabby right now? And I'm
Oh,
recognizing that it's because I'm not like doing art or I'm not creating something, and
I
so
love
I
that.
had to take a different view about that, thinking that I'm not creating something like the way I have always seen creating something to be. But then,
Hmm.
so I've kind of done a little paradigm shift in my head and recognizing that all of this is actually creating, you know,
True.
every day I get to like, you know, choose what color I want to write in my planner because I have
I love it.
all my different color pens. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. Life is in session now. So I want to
Hmm.
take those vacations. I want to take that time off. I want to take that extra day. I just want to like, it'll not, it'll help in my soul to make me continue to be what I want to be here at
And
Snow.
like the wholeness and well-rounded. And
Yeah.
you know, if I've learned anything in this past year, it's, there are many layers to the undoing. I'm just actively trying to do less, and it's really, really hard.
Is is
Yeah.
hard. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah,
I
too
love
much
it.
going on.
Well, I love all the dreams, and I'm just so happy you were on the podcast, and I loved our conversation.
Me too. I was so excited about this, and I've told you before. I'm a big fan of yours.
Oh,
So
thank you.
I think you are a totes awesome human. So thank you
Oh,
for inviting me into your world. I'm honored.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm so grateful you were able to join us today. Please share and like and review this podcast. Also, if you have any comments or questions about anything, I would love to hear from you. You can reach me at juliettericci@gmail.com, and info is in the show notes. Till next time, have a great week.